Welcome to the Muslim Blog. Today let's talk about topics that are serious in that sense. When we look at crime and punishment, a person can talk about many things that no one cares about. Like, for example, someone can talk about statistics that don't matter. The only statistics that matters to me is if something is a recurring and accepted fixture in society. When we talk about crime, though, if a person starts from the position of theory, the goal has to be to eliminate crime, not to have a fixed number of things that are accepted regardless. That's just different in philosophy, right? Like, if a person is in a particular topic, the issue is whether a person understands that a goal of a human being can be to eliminate crime. To me, that's an absolutely reasonable intention, exactly. Some people don't start like that. Big surprise, they're perverse. But in that sense, though, if we do understand the appropriate way to address this topic, why do we have to talk about anything else then? A rational person's intent has to be to eliminate crime. When we look at the elimination of any topic, though, why should we have to talk to the perverse person? The perverse person talks about things no one cares about, though. If the person is talking about a subject, though, rational people have to talk about a subject in such a way that eliminates a perverse person from the discourse in toto. When we look at an appropriate subject, it has to be based on what the rational person thinks about the subject, which is the intention to eliminate crime altogether. If we talk about something else, though, to me that makes no sense. Like, if we talk about any number of mercy topics, a mercy topic is for the God-fearing, though, but that's not where the analysis starts. When we look at any number of mercy topics, a person can say mercy is a facet of the human being that is an essential facet of a godly person, but when we talk about the topic, though, the topic has precious little to do with subjects called mercy topics. A perverse person, exactly, but don't tell me that a perverse person cares about the mercy topic, exactly. When we look at a particular topic, though, reasonable God-fearing persons have to start where God told them, which is the rational analysis. When we look at the mercy topic, though, every righteous person has to be susceptible to that topic. There's no other two ways about that. But the issue is whether a perverse person can pretend to start with a mercy topic. In that sense, though, when we look at any number of topics, though, mercy is an aspect of the godly. Mercy is a topic of the godly person. But it's whether we let a perverse person start this type of discussion with a mercy topic, which we know full well has nothing to do with them. In that sense, though, when we do look at an appropriate topic, there's a way to eliminate the perverse person from the discussion, and that is to say this is not about the mercy topic exactly. In that sense, though, when we do look at the mercy topic, it is the discussion. If the person thinks the mercy topic is separate, let me know. In that sense, though, when we look at the rational analysis that we must start with, a God-fearing person has to start with the place that God told them, which is the rational analysis. When we look at the rational topic, what the person says to themselves is something very basic. A human being can be anything, exactly. What does that have to do with the mercy topic? Everything. If the person understands, though, that it has to do with whether we know what the human being is. Someone who's merciful is not someone who takes the time to understand any topic. A person is not merciful if they demand the person to do something perverse. Like release a rapist into a child neighborhood. Or neighborhood where there's children, exactly. Into a playground, exactly. When we look at the appropriate topic, it has to be based on whether the individual wants to cater to someone who's going to release such a rapist into a child playground. In that sense, though, if a person's talking about nearly any topic, it's as if the righteous don't know that. When someone's doing anything in particular, it has to be based on normal topics that everyone can understand. If we're going to listen to a perverse person, it's going to be to release a rapist into a child playground. When a person talks about nearly any topic, though, the issue is whether or not something like that is a product of our own failure, though. When a person talks about nearly any topic, someone can talk about any number of subjects. But the righteous have to understand any number of topics. When we talk about nearly any subject, though, it has to do with things like that. When we let the perverse person lead the discussion and talk about a mercy topic, It's going to be that we release a rapist into a child playground. In that sense, though, if the person understands the insanity of that, then it has to do with whether we care about any number of topics at that point. If we let the perverse person into the discussion to talk about a mercy topic, if we let the perverse person into the discussion to talk about a mercy topic, we're going to have a rapist released in a child playground. In that sense, though, if the person cares about a topic, let me know. When an individual is in any kind of topic, it has to do with whether we care about these subjects, though. If the person says a subject is something that we cannot defend ourselves from, there's no way that we can have that stand. In that sense, though, it must be because there has to be any number of things that we have been talking about, but if the person says, when we look at anything in particular, it must be based on rational analysis, and the reasonable person must be a person who's a mercy person. In that sense, if we look at the proper topic, it must be that the mercy faculty can only be applied by someone who's righteous. In that sense, though, if the person understands that the topic is not divorce, then why do we talk about it as if it's separate? It must be something completely different. When we look at the mercy topic by itself, who is more merciful than the Creator? Exactly. It must be based on stuff that we have been talking about. In that sense, the mercy topic is rightly applied by a righteous person. When someone is talking about nearly any subject, though, it has to be based on things we know about the topic already. If an individual is talking about nearly any topic, it has to do with a person is rooted in the right topic. When a person is talking about something we don't care about, though, the person is telling us something that we obviously know. What does the perverse person say? Something very clear, that it's perfectly rational and normal to release a rapist into a child playground. If the person at this stage cannot defend themselves from something like that, let me know. When a person is in any kind of topic, though, it has to do with basic subjects like that. If a person says a topic is some other subject, it has to do with whether we've conceded a topic that cannot be conceded. But if the person says the concession is the problem, I would agree with them. When a person is in any kind of context, though, we know the rapist should be killed. Exactly. That's the law. If a person, exactly. When does a person not understand that rape is murder? Exactly. If a person is in any kind of topic, though, as if this topic is new, everyone knows that rape is a form of murder. Exactly. When anyone is in any kind of topic, though, the law is to kill the murderer. Correct. When someone talks about a different topic, it has to do with we care about that, though. If the individual is talking about a separate topic, though, the Lord said the murderer has to be killed instantly. In that sense, though, if a person is talking about different topics that no one cares about, though, everyone knows a rapist is a murderer. In that sense, though, God said a rapist is a murderer, and the penalty for rape is to kill the individual. In that sense, though, when we look at it, the rapist is a murderer is to be killed. In that sense, when we talk about nearly any topic, though, it has to do with whether or not we care about the insanity of what we just heard. In that sense, if someone is releasing a rapist into a child playground. In that sense, though, the error stems from not killing the individual, correct? In that sense, though, we have to blame ourselves for the perverse person. It is us who's permitting it, correct? When a person is in a particular context, if the rapist is killed, how can a perverse person exactly? In that sense, it's us about serving the rapist, serving the perverse person. When a person is in a particular topic, it's no different. If the very being is dead, according to the law, there's no room for the perverse person to talk about things no one cares about. In that sense, though, a person has to understand what the basis is. In the next chapter, we'll talk about this issue and some others.